No?
That's on such license plate, were you? Got a problem with that.
What was that?
I was just curious. You're ducking down behind it. Looked like you were touching something.
I was looking at the license plate.
Okay. Any reason why? No.
Looking at the license plate. It's hard to see at night. And it's in a shadow, so I was looking at the license plate. See what kind of stickers they had on it. Yeah, I just find it interesting that it's parked here for a couple days now.
Well, my guy's inside. Scared to leave.
Oh, the security officer said it was broke down and it had been here for a couple of days.
What security officer?
The one right in front of the store.
No.
I mean, that's what she told me. But I mean, like, if it's in service, don't you usually have a computer or something in it, or?
Not necessarily.
Well, that's what I was looking at. It's like she told me it was broken down, and you know, I was wondering because there's a parking spot right there for law enforcement, and she said it was broken down. So, and I've been here for a couple of days, and somebody stops by every now and then. Lady in the front with the blue shirt, she's the one that said it was broke down. Thanks. Can I ask you another question?
Depends.
Why did you become a cop? What was the main motivation?
Protect, serve, actually help out the businesses.
Protect, serve, help out the businesses, help people, right? When's the last time you did that?
Pretty much every single day I'm here.
Like how? Can you give me an example of a way that you, like I'll give you an example of the way I can contribute to the community. I was at a city council meeting in Lincoln,
Okay.
and I read the agendas before they have my meetings, and there was a code violation, like a nuisance code at somebody's house. And it was down the street from my house, so I drove by and took a look at it just to see what kind of a nuisance there was. And the me, it didn't seem like that bad. The guy doing construction on his own. So I went to the city council meeting where they had that thing. And I actually saw the guy in his porch, so I took some time to talk to him. I said, hey, what's going on? Like, what happened? I mean, what's the deal? He's telling me a neighbor behind his house, a really nice house. His house he bought. I didn't say that to him, but you know what I mean? It was like he was fixing up like a dilapidated car. He was military, and he was deployed, and he had to come back, and his wife, they had a little baby, and just talking to the guy, like you could tell, like the house was in a mess. He had some like wood and stuff with a tarp over it. He was trying to like fix up the house. So I go to the city council meeting, and the wife is crying. They're going to get fined $460, and they didn't have the money. So I got up to speak on his behalf. Because I thought like a guy that's actually in construction trying to work out. So he was making a mess of it. It wasn't like he had trash and broken down cars on, gas stations. You know what I'm talking about? So after I spoke and said, look guys, there's bigger fish to fry here, like how did you not break? They decided to levy the fines, and the girl's crying and they're trying to figure out how to pay and how to make a payment plan or something like that. So the city lady is saying that they can only take a maximum of 2 separate payments, so it has to be half and then half. That's the only option that the city has. And they're taking all this time to pay it, and I'm like, Mr. Mayor. He's like, oh, just 1 second. I'm like, no, I can help the situation. I'm like, I'll write a check. Like it has to have the money, and I'm like, let me just pay it. Because the guy was actually helping. It wasn't a nuisance, you know what I'm saying? Like a neighbor who went in, he had the money to build a fence. He could have just built a fence, the neighbor wouldn't see any of his yard, nothing would told my friend the story. He Venmoed me half the money. Like, yeah, you did a good thing. You know, you helped him out. The lady's crying, and you know, you try to help the service members. Then like today, like this, like I'm just a guy standing here. And you know what I mean? I'm just, and honestly, like, I'm not the same. Like, it just came to look this loving. I said, I'm following you. I got here 3 minutes late. And I say, I'm just gonna finish a cigarette before I get in my car. It takes about 15 minutes to smoke. I'm just looking at the place.
Well, so again, it comes back to, I don't know you, you don't know me, we can, hang on, I'd let you speak. They said you're asking some questions about, the blue lights, kind of the security system, a little bit, and hey, again, I let you go, I told you my side. So, as it is, it's private property. I don't necessarily care as much that you were looking at it. I find it a little weird that you got down behind the car, you're looking at a little close to the license plates. We've had license plate thefts in the past. Again,
I'm trying to put your mind
I'm trying to let you know my side. They asked me to come over here. They said it's making them feel uneasy, and they want you to leave the property. So I have to tell you, you have to leave the property.
What I ask you just so you know is I travel all over the country for work. I'm a truck driver when I have work. I do mobile marketing. Every time I see those little things in my life, it's usually a very, very bad neighborhood. I didn't think you was like a bad neighborhood. So we know in Lincoln at the Walmart, they don't have those problems. And there's a lot of different Walmarts. And I always tell my friends, I'm like, hey, you like working on in that neighborhood and not leave anything in your car that can be broken into as well. So I was asking her if they had a lot of problems with breaking into cars and things like that. I wouldn't leave the phone visible. You know what I mean? But is this...
I do have to ask you to leave because it's kind of
this area worse than other areas?
I don't think it's about the same as
About the same.
Okay. Thank you.
30.
Get in your car, leave the car.
You told me.
It is not up for debate.
If he said you have
Get
to
off
leave,
the
you have to
property.
leave.
It's not legal for you to solicit a trespass.
Get out.
What's your name?
Last. 667, that's my badge number. Get off the property.
Thanks.
667. We got Walmart Signal 71 white male. You got your ID with you by any chance?
Sure.
Can I get it from you?
No.
Why not?
I didn't do anything wrong.
That's okay. What you doing on the property today? Because they said you've been hanging around a little bit, asking a lot of questions.
I pulled in here to see if they had any alcohol, but I pulled in here at 8:33,
Huh?
and they were closed. So I wanted to have a cigarette before getting in my car because I don't smoke in my car. So what I was looking at here is there's no number on this police car, but this one has a number, like 68. I was wondering what the difference is, like why some cars run numbers and some cars don't run numbers.
Okay.
just curious. And then I was looking at the sticker. Like, you guys don't have registration stickers because you have the city government or whatever. I was just looking at the differences. But, I mean, I didn't break any law. Nobody asked me to leave.
Well, actually, that's why I'm back over here now. Management's a little bit worried about you, and they're not sure exactly what's going on. You're asking a lot of questions about their security protocol. That's just the information they're passing to me. So, as it is right now, I'm going to go ahead and ask you to proceed to your vehicle and exit the property.
No problem.
Yes, sir.
Can I ask you another question?
Depends.
Why did you become a cop? What was the main motivation?
Protect, serve, actually help out the businesses.
Protect, serve, help out the businesses, help people, right? When's the last time you did that?
Pretty much every single day that I'm here.
Like how? Can you give me an example of a way that you've, like I'll give you an example of the way I contributed to the community. I was at a city council meeting in Rincon.
Okay.
And I read the agendas before they have the meetings. And there was a code violation, like a nuisance code somebody's house. And it was down the street from my house, so I drove by and took a look at it just to see what kind of a nuisance there was. And to me, it didn't seem like it was that bad. It was a guy doing construction on his own home. So I went to the city council meeting where they had that thing. And I actually saw the guy on his porch, so I took some time to talk to him and say, hey, what's going on? Like, what happened? I mean, what's the deal? He was telling me a neighbor behind his house had a really nice house. His house he bought, it was a shithole. I didn't say that to him, but you know what I mean? It was like he was fixing up a dilapidated property. It was military. And he was deployed, and he had to come back, and his wife, they had a little baby. And just talking to the guy, like, you could tell, like, the house wasn't a mess. He had some, like, wood and stuff with a tarp over it. He was trying to, like, fix up the house. So I go to the city council meeting, and the wife is crying because they're going to get fined $260.
Okay.
And they didn't have the money. So I got up to speak on his behalf because I thought, like a guy that's actually doing construction, trying to help the house, like, he was making an effort. It wasn't like he had trash and broken down cars and cars on, you know, jack stands. Do you know what I'm talking about? So after I spoke and said, look, guys, you know, there's bigger fish to fry here, like, kind of just try to give the guy a break a little bit. And they decided to levy the fines, and the girl's crying, and they're trying to figure out how to pay and how to make a payment plan or something like that. So the city lady was saying that they can only take a maximum of 2 separate payments, so it has to be half and then half. That's the only option that the city had. And they were taking all this time to debate it, and I'm like, Mr. Mayor. He's like, oh, just 1 second. I'm like, no, I can help the situation. I'm like, I'll write a check. You know, like, I had some extra money, and I'm like, let me just pay their fine for it. Because the guy was actually helping. You know what I mean? He wasn't doing anything. Like, it wasn't a nuisance. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, a neighbor complained, and if he had the money to build a fence, he could have just built a fence. The neighbor wouldn't see any of his yard, and I think the situation would have been over. But he didn't have that kind of money. So, like, I just paid the fee, and I actually wrote a check there that night and gave it to the city and done, and he said thank you and left, and it made me feel good. I told my friend the story, and do you know what Venmo is? Like, that payment app? So I told my friend the story. He Venmo'd me half the money. It's like, you did a good thing, you know, you helped them out, the lady's crying, and, you know, you try to help a service member and stuff like that. Then, like, today, like this, like, I'm just a guy standing here. And you know what I mean? I'm just... And honestly, like, I don't have to say what I'm doing. Like, I just came to look for some rubbing alcohol or isopropyl alcohol. That's all I was looking for. And I got here 3 minutes late. And then I say, hey, I'm just going to finish a cigarette before I get in my car. It takes about 15 minutes to smoke one of these. I'm just looking at the police cars.
Yep. Well, so, again, it comes back to, you know, I don't know you, you don't know me. We can, hang on, I let you speak. They said you asked them some questions about, you know, the blue lights, kind of their security systems, a little bit of protocol. And, hey, again, I let you talk. I'm telling you my side. So, as it is, it's private property. I don't necessarily care as much that you were looking at it. I find it a little weird that that you duck down behind the car. You're looking at it a little close to the license plates. We've had license plate thefts in the past.
I can only see out one eye.
Again,
I'm just trying to put your mind
and I'm trying to let you know my side.
Yeah.
They asked me to come over here. They said that you're making them feel uneasy, and they want you to leave the property. So I have to tell you have to leave the property.
Okay.
So.
What I asked her, just so you know, is I travel all over the country for work. I'm a truck driver when I have work. I do mobile marketing promotions. And every time I see those little things with the blue lights, it's usually a very, very bad neighborhood. I didn't think Pula was like a bad neighborhood.
I don't think it is either.
So we don't, in Rincon, at the Walmart, they don't have those lights. And at a lot of different Walmarts, I see those, and I always tell my friends, I'm like, hey, if you see the blue lights in the parking lot, you're probably in a bad neighborhood and you want to not leave anything in your car that could be broken into or stolen. So I was asking her if they had a lot of problem with people breaking into cars and things like that, because I wouldn't leave a phone visible. Or, do you know what I mean?
I wouldn't leave anything valuable in your car. But at the same time, I do have to ask you to leave because it's kind of getting past that time.
Is this area worse than other areas?
I think it's about the same as no matter where you go. Yeah.
Okay.
Have a good day. Sir, it's not sir, it is not up for debate. Get in your car, leave the property. It is not up, again, it is not up for debate. Get off the property.
Yeah. It's not legal for you to solicit or trespass.
Get out.
Okay. What's your name?
Laster. 667, that's my badge number. Get off the property.